part three, we continue our deep dive into prayer, not as a ritual, but as a relationship. Burk shares more real stories where prayer aligned him with the divine timing, direction, and provision. Get ready for a testimony that will stretch your faith and challenge your comfort zone. So, Burke, can you share a moment where you were warned or redirected through prayer?
Yeah. Well, yeah, there's quite a. I'm just there's so many. I'm just trying to think of the one that would be. Well, I'll tell you a strange one.
Yes.
Um, I started a guy in business years ago, and well, he was a young guy, wonderful guy, and they used to haul blocks for us, and then his company shut down, and so he said I came to me. He said he doesn't have any anything to do. He had a family, so I said, well, I'll give you. I had a tree planter when I used to smoke dope. I wanted to have a lot of businesses,
Yeah.
and so then I had a tree planter, and I said, listen, you can start this tree planting business. I'll give you the tree planter now, and then you can just pay off the price of the planter, which wasn't that big a deal
Yeah.
when you earn the money. So then we got to know each other really well, and then but he became a very successful businessman.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like, because he's a very nice fellow
Yeah.
and really a hard worker. And so anyway, we always talked about God. I
Mhm.
always talked to him about God. He was a Pentecostal fellow, and so anyway, I meet him on the street one day, and then he's saying, "I feel a little bit like the rich young ruler." He said, I got so much stuff, and I'm busy, and
Yeah.
and so I was able to tell him a few stories about what God was doing to encourage him,
Mhm.
and he said, "Listen, why don't you come over to my place, and I'll invite the best Christians I know,
Yeah.
leaders
Yeah.
of churches, and in his business, he's met a lot of different guys, and he said, and we'll have breakfast at my place, and you talk to it." I said, "Oh, sure." Whatever, because I told the Lord, whatever
Yeah.
you ask me, I'll try to do it, whatever
Right.
possible. And so anyway, so we have this breakfast set up. Well, anyway, the night before, I asked God, "So you set this up.
Mhm.
What do you want me to talk about
Yeah.
to these guys? Because I know they'll be different pastors
Right.
and so." Well, the strong impression came Jeremiah 7. I thought, well, what's in Jeremiah 7?
Mhm.
So I go to Jeremiah 7, and Jeremiah 7 says, don't believe these deceptive words. Uh, you're saved.
Okay.
It says you're delivered. You say, the temple of the Lord, all that,
Yeah.
and I'm here, and you're delivered. What to do? What you're doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't believe these deceptive words. And so I'm thinking, what? Because all these different churches, different things, they believe they're saved.
Yeah.
Period. Like once they're saved, they're always kind of saved. That thought. So I thought to myself, no, no, no. I am not going to talk on Jeremiah 7
Yeah.
because that's like going to somebody's house and telling them their kids are ugly
Right.
right away. You
Right.
lose all credibility. I'm
Yeah.
thinking, no, no, I want you set this up so I could help them,
Mhm.
and do something, draw them anyway. So I thought, no, this is the devil. You know what
Wow.
I mean? I thought this can't be God. So anyway, I go there, and sure enough, he's got guys from the Salvation Army runs that, some missionaries, some guys from Africa, some different ministers from different churches. Anyway, so I go there, and so I'm telling these stories. Oh, we had a great time. He's
Mhm.
telling stories about what God does, and and they were excited. Anyway, come to the end, and I'm ready to pack her in. I said, "Well, we got to go," and the pastor sitting across from me. We were in a big circle after breakfast there, and he said to me, "Did God tell you anything to tell us?"
Mhm.
Oh, and I thought, "You
Yeah.
got to be kidding me!" I thought, "You have to be kidding me!"
Yeah.
And so I'm just sitting there, and he said, "No, did God tell you anything to tell us?"
Mhm.
And I said, "Yeah, he did,
Yeah.
but I don't want to tell you."
Mhm.
See? And he said, "No, no, you got to tell us." And then they all started saying, "No, no, you have to tell us." If
Right.
And I said, "I don't want to tell you the truth." Because there's a lot of people can't bear certain things. But anyway,
Right.
so anyway, I said, "Okay." I said, "I'll tell you what he did. He told me to talk to you about Jeremiah 7." And the pastor that's sitting beside me says, "You got to be kidding me." He said, "I was on my knees this morning asking God, what does Jeremiah 7 mean?"
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they all knew we're right into it to the neck. Eh?
Mhm.
So I talked to them about it. And this guy who was from Africa, the missionary there who had just come back, he said, "I got to go back to Africa." He said, "This is exactly what's happening to us in Africa. We're preaching the gospel." He says, "The people are getting baptized, they're doing all this. They're not changing."
Wow. Wow.
He said, "This is the problem we've got. We've
Yeah.
got this problem."
Yeah.
And it was so amazing, eh? And after that, it worked out that we started a Bible study. The pastors would come to the Adventist church for about 5 years
Yeah.
from the town I'm in,
Right.
and we would meet together and study,
Yeah.
and until their church boards were very bad, looked down on that pretty bad
Yeah.
until they shifted them out of there and different things. So yeah, so it was amazing to me what God does, eh?
Yeah.
Like, so here I'm thinking, I'm praying, what should I do?
Mm.
He tells me, but I don't even want to do it. But he has 1,000 ways, eh?
Wow. Wow.
And so he worked it out, eh? So
Oh, it's
it's so phenomenal
yeah.
that it's shocking to you
Right.
personally. Like when that guy said, "Did he ask, say anything to say?" I couldn't believe it. I'm thinking,
Yeah.
okay, it was God. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Right. Right.
So yeah,
Yeah. Just recently, I bumped into an old student of mine,
yeah,
and it brought back a memory where I was driving my car and I heard God talk to me to give her a message. And I was like, Lord, that this is not your voice in here in the car.
yeah.
And I asked for a sign, you know, and sure enough, this exact thing I asked the Lord to show me to see if it was true was there. And
Yeah,
it was a message of hope to give to this young lady.
absolutely.
And I just saw her recently,
Mhm.
loves serving the Lord, just
Oh,
a great person. I hadn't seen her for probably 20 years,
yeah.
but just to know that that person, because, sometimes God sends us
Oh,
someplace to tell person a message,
absolutely.
to help them out,
Absolutely.
to help them avoid danger, or to give them encouragement.
Mhm. Mhm.
And God's a God that always encourages. So
Yeah,
He doesn't tell us bad news to hurt us. He always does it to save us.
yeah,
So even when we have to share something, listen to the Lord.
exactly.
He'll
Oh, that's so
provide.
neat. It's so neat, eh?
Yeah.
It's quite an adventure, the reality of being a Christian.
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
because it's not just a thing that an idea,
Yeah.
it's an experience, eh?
There's a living God
Yeah,
that
and
loves us, and that's
it's a real walk.
yeah.
It's You're going down a road with him,
Right.
and he's working to save you and
Yeah.
and save other people, and you get to go along for the ride. Eh?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
and you see these things, and you're just like, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah. And that's why, Burke, I think people need to pray more.
Yeah.
I think we have too formal prayers,
Yes.
and I'm a person that I walk, I pray, I
Yeah.
drive, I pray, I
Yes.
keep my eyes open,
Yeah.
because if I'm driving in a car, I want to make sure I'm stopping when I need to be.
Yeah.
But I
Exactly.
use opportunities just to talk with God
Yeah.
and to listen. A lot of times we don't listen to God.
I know.
We'll be, it's a one-sided conversation. We're the
Mhm.
ones talking, and we need to spend quiet time with God listening.
Listening. Yeah, because
Yeah.
that's where the real thing happens.
Yeah.
See, the question is fine, and the prayers we ask,
Right.
they're okay, but they're just us asking questions. But to see the power of God then being used to save, to change, to do things that
Right.
are way better than you ever imagined.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
because we're too chicken in things,
Yeah.
sometimes. And
Yeah.
yeah, this is, and the Lord will give us these experiences, but He does. I mean, there's times when He doesn't give you any experience
Right.
because He wants. And sometimes He pulls back in that you don't feel that closeness to Him and everything because He wants you to do it because it's right,
Yeah.
because it's good,
Yeah.
and He wants you to be free to do it without the coercion of, oh, you're feeling some kind of high or
Yeah.
whatever. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But
I found that in my walk with the Lord, if He's telling you something, listen. It's always for your good.
yeah,
Where we see it through our lenses with our
yeah,
eyes and say, no, that can't be good. That's wrong. That's not happening for the right reason. And
exactly.
God says, just trust me in this.
Yeah.
I think I've said it on one of the shows that we had earlier, but my brother was an alcoholic,
Oh
and my
man.
mom and I
Yeah.
were praying.
Yeah.
He got in a drunk driving accident, went to prison,
Oh
for 3 months, and I was just questioning God, why? That's not saving my brother.
No.
That's harming him. And the Lord said, Paul, move out of the way. I got this.
Exactly.
And it was in prison that he got down on his knees and he said, Lord, I need you back in my life because I'm going to
Yes.
die here
Exactly.
if you don't help me. And the next day, the warden called him in and paroled him, on the
Oh,
condition he would go to a counselor who happened to be a Christian counselor who led my brother to trust Jesus for his alcoholism.
wow.
And my brother never drank after that. He served the
Yeah.
Lord
Yeah.
the rest of his life. He passed away a few years
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah.
But it was just amazing. When I thought God didn't know what he was doing, God just said, Paul, move out of the way. Let
Exactly.
me do what I do best, and that is care for my kids.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
and sometimes we think, God, you can only work in this box here. And
Exactly.
God says, I'm working outside the
Wow.
box. And there are times when even disaster happens. And I love the peace that happens in people's lives when disaster happens,
Yes.
because that's us trusting God.
Yeah. Yeah.
My mother died.
Mm.
I had peace. My
Yes.
brother died.
Yeah.
I had peace.
Yeah.
My father died, and God gave me so much peace there,
Wow.
even to experiencing my dad come back to the Lord a week before
Wow.
he passed
No
away.
kidding.
Just, we have a God that takes care, and even when we
Yeah.
don't understand what God is doing,
Yes.
He's working.
Mm.
I know I'm interviewing you, but
No, that's good.
yeah,
Well,
yeah,
it's about God.
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not about
That's right.
us. You know what I mean?
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
So that's phenomenal.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh no, I just love that because it's so it's something. It's a God you love, and you realize
yeah.
how he actually works with each person
That's
and
right.
cares about them. Just
Yeah.
yeah, it's phenomenal.
And he
So
and he doesn't mind us asking him big things.
no, no,
We-
that
Uh,
that's what it says
yeah,
there. You haven't asked nothing yet.
that's right.
What are
That's
you
right.
doing? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Ask and I'll give it to you.
yeah,
I mean, because he wants us to be in harmony with him
yeah.
there. Eh? It's just we don't know what we're asking a lot of times. Eh?
And now there's a movement in the Christian world called the prosperity movement.
Yeah.
We're not talking about money in our pockets.
No, no.
We're
No.
talking about seeing God do something to lead other people to know Him more.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because a lot of people think if I pray for $1 million, I'm going to get $1 million.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Well, I don't need $1 million. I do need 3 meals a day or 2 meals a day.
Yeah.
I do need gas for my car, and things like that. My wife and I we didn't have much money. Uh, the Lord told us to help somebody else that was in need, and we did. And for the rest of the week, we didn't have money to live on.
Wow.
We didn't have food to live on. We didn't have anything. Our pantry never went empty.
Yeah.
And I'm driving back and forth from Oshawa to Toronto every day, and my gas meter did not move from the position that it's in because we trusted God
Yeah.
to give our money to help this needy person, but we wouldn't have enough to live on for till payday.
Yeah.
And yet we never ran out of food, and my car, for some unknown reason, never ran out of gas. Even during that time, I was in Toronto where I was teaching, and the voice came to me, said, Paul, just use your credit card, fill up your gas tank. And I said, no, Lord, you told us to give. I'm trusting you.
Yeah.
Paul, just use your credit card to fill up your gas tank. You'll be okay. Trust your credit card.
Wow.
And I said, no, Lord, you told us to give. You're going to sustain my gas tank. I went
That's
downstairs into my
nice.
office, and there
Yeah.
was an envelope on my office desk. And the guy I shared the office with comes in, and he goes, Paul, that was underneath the door and your name attached to it. And I'm looking at it, and he goes, by chance, is it an answered prayer? And I open it up, and there was $75 and $5 bills there. Just to say, God is
Yeah.
saying, I got you covered.
Exactly.
We never dipped into that $75 that came under the door. I don't know who gave it.
Yeah.
We never dipped into the $75 because my gas tank still didn't go empty. And
That's
we had
good.
food on the table. So, Burke, we have a
Yeah.
God that
Yeah. Yeah.
just pours it out on us.
That's right. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. It's
yeah,
and it's always for good. Like a lot of things have happened to me that I haven't understood,
right.
but uh, later he's let me understand,
Yeah,
and so in some way he's training you because there's a lot of things you won't understand
yeah,
about what he does,
yeah,
and you'll take offense to him.
yeah.
but you begin to realize it's better to let him do what he's going to do and
Right.
get out of the way, because that what you were saying there,
Yeah.
that's such a hard lesson for me, because the Lord sometimes has had to do it, and he's saying, look, can you, heal the sick? Can you raise the dead? Can you? I'd say, no, Lord, no, no. Stay out of it then,
Yeah.
because your tendency is to try to get some glory, get involved, get
Yeah.
somehow that's partly you. It isn't.
Yeah.
See, and he has to actually teach you that.
Right.
I always like what one of our writers said there, that the Lord does not accept voluntary humility.
Yeah.
See,
Right.
because he has to give us real humility. And the way he does it is we learn the truth about things,
Yeah.
the truth about ourselves,
That's
the
right.
truth about God,
Yeah.
and the truth about, all these things. And so you realize he's doing this stuff.
Right.
It's his righteousness,
Yeah.
it's his goodness, it's his generosity. It's not yours.
Yeah.
And I mean, but he's had to teach me that, because I would otherwise I'd think I was that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he's
Yeah.
he's got to be very careful of what he gives me,
Mhm.
because of that very thing. Because all of a sudden I'll think I
Yeah.
am. And I know that now, because it's so many times he's had to teach me these things
You'll
that,
start to take the credit yourself where
wow,
it should
you'll
go. Yeah.
actually, yeah, I don't know if it's a story that really illustrates that, but it's in the religious side of things. It's really weird. Even in the religious side of things,
Yeah.
that exists. See?
Yeah.
So I don't know what kind of time we got, but
Well, yeah, listen, I've been reading Romans, and it says, we like to take credit ourselves, and we like to
yeah,
take the credit away from God,
yeah,
put it on human beings, put it
uh,
on
yeah,
circumstances, or something like that.
yeah.
Yeah. No, share it really quickly what you were going
Well,
to
I'll
say.
try. So I have this guy I did lots of work for, and so he asked me, because he has this place where the special needs children are, because he has a special needs child,
Yeah.
and so he was building at this. He said, "Can you do it?" And I said, "No, I'm doing a big job. I can't do it." But then a crane fell over, so I had time. But I'd given him a price, and then I forgot the price, because he wanted a price just so he had a fair price
Yeah.
when he was shopping. Anyway, we get to the point. Didn't know what I gave him, so I went and measured, and the Lord made me miss a bunch of stuff that we'd done,
Mhm.
and so it was less. So then he comes to me and he says, "Well," I wake up 2 weeks later, realize I gave him the wrong amount of money, because I forgot an elevator, I forgot a whole bunch of stuff. So
Right.
I phoned him. I said, "Hey, I need more." And then he was feeling kind of down, and so he came, said, "Okay, well, we can get the money. I'll talk to the board." And but then I started thinking, I'm going to lose this guy's work. Now this is because I'm my own selfishness, eh?
Yeah.
So I said to him, I said, "Look, forget the extra money. It's a good cause." You know what I mean? If
Yeah.
God would have wanted me to remember, maybe he wanted me to give to this cause. So I just
Yeah.
said that, like that. And then anyway, then I was, he was happy and everything. So then I drove away. I said, then I was mad. I
Yeah.
thought, Lord, you're trying to teach me a lesson, of some
Right.
sort. But
Right.
anyway, whatever it is. So then it came time they were going to dedicate this. So they had the health minister come from the government and all this stuff. Eh?
Yeah.
So he said, "Come, and we're going to come along here, and I come to this meeting we're going to have where we dedicate this building." And I thought, no, he's going to. This is out giving out plaques for people who gave money. I don't want to get a plaque, because
Yeah.
I didn't do it for caring about these special needs kids.
Right. Right.
I just did it selfishness.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? I didn't
Yeah.
want to lose his work.
Right.
Anyway, so anyway, I said, "No, I can't go." He kept phoning and phoning, and so I said to the wife, "You go." She
Yeah.
said, "No, I'm not going there. You didn't do that because you were generous." You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I'm not going to go like that. So at last I decided, oh, okay, I don't want to lose his jobs. Then I better go and do it, because he was so insistent. So anyway, we're there. All this people's happening. He said, "I got so many generous people that gave for this huge project and everything." He said he could tell stories for hours. He said, "So I can only tell you one." He tells my story. As soon as he told it, I'm just feeling unbelievable. I just felt like going under the table. Eh?
Yeah. Yeah.
So he's saying, yeah, and he tells it just like I said. If God would have wanted, what I mean. And so the people think, well, this guy is so generous, he wants to blame God.
Yeah.
Wasn't the truth, eh? Anyway, we're done with the thing.
Hmm.
I had a good talk with some lawyer there, so the Lord worked that out. Anyway, I grabbed the plaque. The guy said, "Oh, this you're the guy." I said, "Yeah, I'm the guy who forgot." And I tried to confess.
Hmm.
I'm driving home, and I'm saying, "Lord, don't do that to me. Please
Yeah.
don't do that to
Yeah.
me again, eh?" Because I felt like a fox in a henhouse. And then all of a sudden he challenged me. He said, "Well, what if I had given you a generous heart?"
Mm.
And I knew exactly what he meant. I would have thought I was generous.
Ah,
So I learned right there, anything that I ever do that is good is a gift from him.
right.
It's not me, because
Right.
I know who I am.
Yeah.
See? So when I'm generous, I get to taste generosity because he's giving me that gift at that point in
Yeah.
time from Jesus. It's his righteousness,
Right.
it's his
Yeah.
character. It's what he's like, and I get to taste it.
Mm,
See? Wow. And so
amazing.
I'm under no delusion that I'm a generous person. See, if
Yeah.
he gave me that heart, I was just generous. I would have thought I was generous.
Yeah.
Well, how would I know?
Right.
So he had to go this route to teach me that lesson. Yeah,
Right.
there you go. So
That's good.
this is ongoing.
How do you keep track of all your prayer stories? Do you write them down? Do
No,
you,
well, I've written down different just headings. There's hundreds of them. I mean, it's like every day he's doing stuff for you.
yeah.
If you're will involve yourself with him.
Right.
I mean, there's times when you just don't. I
Yeah.
don't know why. It's just ridiculous.
Mm.
But yeah, ongoing.
I wish more people would write down their prayer
Yeah,
miracles, because when you go back and rehearse them in your mind or tell that story to somebody
yeah,
else, that solidifies, I couldn't do anything and
right.
God came through.
Yeah,
Couldn't do anything, powerless,
yes,
God came through.
absolutely.
And I don't think enough people look for the little tiny things where God is doing something.
Yeah,
um, I'm a nervous driver sometimes, especially when I come to a stop sign and there's heavy traffic. And when I come to a stop sign and there's no traffic at all and I pull out, I say, "Thank you, Lord." I really appreciate that,
yeah,
because I get nervous at traffic as I don't, step on the
exactly.
gas.
Yeah,
I don't want to be in an accident or anything like that,
exactly.
or cause harm to somebody else. We need to thank God for the little tiny things.
Absolutely.
Even when my plane's delayed, I don't fret anymore.
Yeah.
I'll try to see what I can do to get an earlier flight or a later flight, but I'm not worried anymore. Even if my plane's delayed by a day, there's a
Wow.
purpose for God doing.
Yeah.
Just recently, my plane was canceled, and I had a wonderful conversation with a gentleman there. While we were waiting for our flights to be worked out, we went to the airport lounge and we had another conversation. And then the next day, while I was catching my flight, my replacement flight,
Yeah.
who was there? The same gentleman. We had another
Oh,
wonderful conversation there.
yeah.
So it was neat. I got to share with him what I do and, the power
Yeah.
of God and
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
that stuff.
That's how God
So
works.
when I'm thinking like, oh, this is disastrous, I need to get
Yeah.
home or I need to get there, God has it all covered.
Yeah.
He has it. So even when things don't happen the way it's supposed to do, God has a plan.
Absolutely.
He'll do it. There's a verse in the Bible that said, God will replace all the years the
Yeah.
locusts have eaten. And so when we think that, oh, this is disaster, I've lost
Yeah.
everything,
Yeah.
we have eternity with God
Yeah.
where He will make it up to us. And that's beautiful. Burke,
Yeah.
thank you for
No.
another great
Yeah.
conversation. We have
Right.
one more to go, but
Okay.
thank you for your joining us on this third
Hmm.
episode of prayer, because I don't think we talk about prayer enough.
Yeah.
And when we pray, there's a real God
Yeah.
that answers. So thank you, Burke.
Absolutely.
Have you been moved by this story and feel inspired to help us to continue bringing these impactful moments to life? Your support is essential for us to keep showcasing the volunteers making a difference. If you'd like to contribute to the production of Hope Channel Canada and its ministries, it's simple. Visit agentsofhope.ca, where you'll find various ways to donate by credit, debit, Google Pay, Apple Pay, or send an e-transfer to Agents of Hope at hopetv.ca. Prefer mailing a check? Send it to Hope Channel Canada at 1148 King Street East, Oshawa, Ontario, L1H 1H8. For a more personal connection, call us at 1 855 4 HOPE TV. That's 1 855 446 7388. Don't forget to subscribe to YouTube channel, Hope Channel Canada, and click the notification bell so you'll never miss an episode. You can also watch the show on multiple platforms: hopetv.ca, cable TV, the Roku app, and the Hope Channel app. Are you looking for answers to life's most profound questions? Hope Study provides free online Bible courses that cover essential topics, all at your own pace and from the comfort of your own home. One of our enriching courses, The Unlimited Power of Prayer, invites you to discover the remarkable world of prayer. Here, talking with God is not just a boring routine, but a sincere conversation with the source of love and wisdom. This study will deepen your understanding of prayer's incredible power to help you build a stronger connection with God. Signing up is easy and completely free at hopestudy.ca. Begin your journey today and feel free to share this valuable resource with anyone else seeking answers. Uncover life's answers. Visit hopestudy.ca and start your journey today.